Hey friends, Joe the Farm here. Welcome to the shop. And today we're gonna do things a little bit differently. It's wintertime, it's cold outside, so I really wanna still bring cool content to you guys. So I have my little electric heater here. This is one I had in some videos when we were doing the F350 work. And this heater has absolutely saved our bacon. But today we're gonna talk about generators. So there's a lot of different kinds of generators. There's anything from what they call raw power to inverter generators. And then you have anything from like a whole house generator, which is like a huge $15,000, $20,000 investment, down to, I mean, we've seen those tailgaters at Harbor Freight that are like $99. I don't know that you want to plug anything into those things. They're rattle boxes, but they're power, right? So the two products I have today, one I've had for 10 years. It's a Honda 2000, I think it's 2200i. We're going to look at it so I can verify on that. And the other one is a new Coleman generator that sold. And 10 years ago, I paid about $1,100 for this Honda generator. And these Coleman generators have almost twice the power, and they're about $600, $700. So with that math, we're gonna talk about this Coleman generator and we're gonna see if it's any good. All right, so this is the Coleman, what is it? This is the Coleman CG3500i. So I have not opened this up yet. I haven't set anything up, and if this thing fails out of the box, you're gonna know today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing opened, and real quickly, you're gonna have a max power, which is what it can kind of peak at, and then what it can run at consistently. So this can run consistently at 3,000 watts. It can peak at 3,500 watts. My Honda can peak at 2,000 watts, I believe, and I think it's supposed to run around 1,500. So it's a much less powerful generator than this one. Okay, our knife of the day is just a little simple mossy oak. I think I've used this before, a little Hunter orange. And again, CG3500i inverter generator. Inverter is the biggest part of this equation. Okay, so I'm hoping this comes with oil, or at least telling us what kind of oil it's supposed to have, because I'm not sure what I have down here. My guess is it does. And again, I have not opened this. Here's the manual instructions. We know how we all feel about those. And it looks like we have a screwdriver and some battery cables, which we'll go through all this together in a second. Deadlifts. Oh gosh. Ooh. That thing is heavy. This is definitely heavier than the Honda. Okay, first impressions. It's a nice looking generator. I mean, it's doesn't feel like it's cheap, put it that way. So you have an econ mode, which is great. The Honda has that as well. So what that means is that if it's off, the generator will run at its full capacity. But if you hit that economy mode, it will actually run at a lower, think of it as an RPM, and it will ramp up as energy is pulled off of the generator. So that will save some of your fuel. That's very, very important. So here's an engine switch. Looks like that's on, that's off. You have a little reset there, or overload protection. You have a 120, two 120s. Again, nice looking generator. Here's your starting instructions. You have a choke right here, it looks like. And then we'll have to check the engine oil and see if there's actually any oil in here. This gives you just more detail. Fuel valve, this turns the fuel off and on, and then you pull that to start it. All right, it is nice that they give you a little screwdriver that comes with it. It's a nice touch, and we're gonna learn this together because, again, I just opened this. I've never opened it before. This is where you're gonna see an air filter. This is gonna be your carburetor, and you have a fuel filter back here, a little fuel filter in line. And here, of course, is where your oil would be. We need to see if there's oil in there. A lot of these machines, especially the Honda, they'll have a low oil setting on them to where if there's no oil, it won't run. But as I'm looking in here, there is oil in here. Okay, so we're ready to roll. I did see that O-ring was actually stuck on the machine. Now, something that's interesting about this, and just something to note, is that this is clearly filled with oil. And this tag says, warning, no oil in the machine. Before using, read the attached instructions carefully. So we haven't read the instructions, so maybe it addresses this, but it's saying that there's no oil in the machine, but there clearly is oil in the machine. You don't want to overload it with oil, so that's why anytime you buy a new machine, always check for oil. But, we checked, there's oil, and we will probably run it just for a little bit in this video, maybe put a little bit of a load on it, and then we'll change the oil pretty quickly on a new machine. Okay, so here is the Coleman. This is the 3500, and here's the Honda. This is the Honda EU2000i. The newer Honda generators that are coming out, or that have come out now, are 2200. And I believe that those are about $1,200, $1,300. You're getting close to twice the cost of this generator. And both are inverters, both are red. This one clearly has a lot more power, but you can also see as far as scale, this one is a lot larger of a machine than this Honda. So taking the panels off, you can get an idea of the difference. You know, here you have oil fill, carburetor, air filter, oil filter, carburetor, air filter. Both have a switch for the fuel, off and on. Here's off and on. This one's obviously a little bit cheaper than the Honda switch. And this one's 10 years old. This one's brand new. So will they both last the same? I don't know, but it's not fair to judge on first startup, because this is saying here on this tag, we have to pull it about 20 times in order to fuel up the carburetor. This one, it's already been started. It's been used many times. You see here the oil was changed last time in March, but I do start it every month or so just to make sure that the fuel is fresh going through it. So anyway, let's get some fuel put in this one. We'll get some fuel put in this one, and then it's gonna take a little bit longer probably to start this one, but I have had some issues starting this one, so let's get to work. All right, we're gonna do some deadlifts here, or dead man lifts. Good grief, I'll tell you right now, the Honda is nowhere close to the weight of Big Sheila over there, that Coleman. That thing is heavy. Nothing in the world makes me question the incompetence of those in charge like these gas cans. These gas cans, every time I fill one up or every time I use one, I think to myself, maybe we're supposed to just, I don't know, pour some out for the homies when it comes to the fuel, because every time fuel ends up everywhere. It's a travesty spilling fuel everywhere. Something to note here is that this Honda has a vented cap, and the Coleman does not. So this cap vents where you'll have air come in through there, on, off. All right, so what do y'all think? Is this gonna take forever? We wanna have the engine on, econ off when you're starting. I'm gonna turn the fuel valve to on. It says it's gonna take 20 pulls. Ugh, it's definitely rough. Does not pull as smooth as the Honda. I'm gonna let that sit for a sec. Choke, on. Remember the time when we did a generator video, neither one would start? Okay, this is the fun part. There's no electric start on these things. You gotta sit there and pull and pull and pull until they start. So they're both choked. I'm gonna sit here and mess with them. We're gonna get them both started. It's just gonna be a journey. Okay, I was able to get it started, but then the low oil light came on. So there's definitely oil in the machine, but something's telling it that there's not enough. So it's kind of starting and then it dies right out. So it's good to have that protection. But for us, the only oil I have, which this will be fine, it's 4-cycle oil, it's Briggs & Stratton, but this should be enough to top us off. But I don't have a funnel. So this may be a messy new generator. Whoops. The things we do for video. Well, I'm always gonna shoot you straight on this channel, and I'll tell you right now, both of them were absolute pains in the rear to start. So we're just gonna go ahead and say that. It's a draw. They both stink at getting them started. I probably pulled that one 50 times, and I pulled this one probably 50 times. And one thing I did realize though is that this had low oil, but I still pulled it 50 times after that. So the low oil light did come on. So I'm not sure, you know, it doesn't ship with oil, but there's a ton of oil in it. So I made a mess because I didn't have a funnel, but it's topped off with oil now, and it's running great. So what we're gonna do now is we're just talk a little bit about what they sound like. So both of them say they're low decibels at 23 feet away. Anything that says it's real quiet, that means at 23 feet away. So I don't have a tape measure right now that's 23 feet long, so we're gonna do the old military paces. That's about, what do y'all think? 11 paces? Is that right? No, it'd be 7 paces. 8 paces, that'd be 24 feet. So we'll do 8 paces away from them. We'll put them both together, and then I'll let you hear what it sounds like. I don't have my sound meter with me today. From my first impression, audibly, I don't think that they sound very different at all. They sound actually incredibly similar. So I think my brain's telling me I want to think that the 3500 is a little bit louder, but that's probably just because it's more power, and my brain's telling me it should be louder because it has more power. But anyway, let's start them up, and then we'll mark off some paces here. We'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But it would go without saying that I sure would appreciate right now if y'all would hit that like button, because it's cold out here and I forgot my jacket. So what we'll do is I'll take you over there. We'll start them up. They're already warmed up. They should start right up. And then we'll just kind of come back here and we'll let you hear what they sound like. And I will put a tripod over here though with the camera so you can get maybe that A/B kind of sound. Okay, so let's go to the Honda. There we go. It is on Eco Throttle. We'll put the Eco Throttle on. How's that? Okay, so I'm doing it through a GoPro and also through my lav mic here. That's 23-ish feet away. They're both equal distance. What do y'all think? I feel like if you're at a barbecue or a camp out or you're at a campground or something like that, you're gonna be very comfortable with that thing kind of purring like that. That's pretty good. So I'll give you 1 second to kind of hear it. Okay, and then maybe we'll take that Eco Throttle off. Let it ramp up. All right, so that's with the Eco Throttle off. That's kind of full bore, so it's definitely louder, but you know, you can still kind of carry on a conversation. It's just a purr in the background. It is more annoying than it was though, at 23 feet. So give you a second to listen to it. I feel like with the Eco Throttle off on this one, it's quieter. I can't really tell the difference, y'all. I think they're both very quiet. Well, what'd y'all think? I think it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing this. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of stuff too. If you do, let me know. And I really want to hear your feedback. What do you think was louder? From hearing the two on your television or your phone or whatever you're watching this video on, which of these machines is louder? I think it was this one right here, but I think Big Sheila over here is just a lot more power. One thing we didn't talk about is that I actually have two of these Hondas, but we had these, so we would have almost 4,000 watts of surge power and about 3,500 watts of ongoing power. Two of those, that's about $2,400 plus the $150 cable that makes them parallel to be a more powerful generator. Plus it's just kind of awkward having two of them. So really it's about 2,400 bucks in that Honda at those prices to equal, we'll say $700 would do over here. Same amount of power. It's convenient to just have one generator. So it's really up to you. I don't care what you do. It's your choice. 100%. If you want to buy the whole house generator and spend all kinds of money on it, go for it. I love it. I want to see a picture of it. If you have a better generator setup, send me a picture of it. I'll post it here on the channel and we'll take a look at it and we'll kind of compare notes, because power security is important to me. We're on a big farm here. We lose power all the time. We have meat in the freezers, food in the refrigerator. My biggest concern is I want you to have a generator. I don't care what you go buy. I want you to have something that's at least a generator. If you have one you love, leave in the comments, let us know what you have. And maybe these are just terrible choices and you have a better option. But I can tell you that knowing what I know now, 10 years later, this is new. This is, like I said, these are brand new if you want them. They're at Walmart and Camping World, Tractor Supply. You can buy them online. Pretty impressive little generator. The only thing I don't like about it is the pull start. But I mean, other than that, that could just need to break in. But we talked about both of them had problems starting. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a like. Please share it with your friends if you enjoy it. And we would really enjoy having you as a subscriber. If you watch a lot of videos and you haven't subscribed yet, come along with us. We have a fun year ahead of us. I cannot wait for 2024. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of cool stuff going to happen. And I hope that you will come along with us. So appreciate you watching. Catch you on the next one. Joe the Farmer. We out.